Hello and welcome to the video. We are back with Expeditions, a Mudrunner game, and we are gonna start on a new map and start our expedition here. We are heading to Grand Canyon, which is quite exciting. Let's just go into the first mission that we have here. We have the same three vehicles that we were given at the beginning, but I have upgraded each one of them a little bit. This one, for example, the scout car, now has the thing is, I have a lift kit for this one, which means that the tires are higher and you have more ground clearance. But for once, in previous games, this didn't happen. The wheels are also further out, which means that it doesn't tip over when it's lifted. Previously, the tires were just the same when they. Let me just show you actually. In upgrades, you have the suspension, the lift kit. Here, you see that the tires are just much less far out. And then with the lift kit, they actually stand further out so that you don't tip over. In previous games, they just went up and down and not further out. Anyway, that's a huge improvement, at least on the last game. And yeah, let's go see what we have. Like I said, we have the same vehicles that we had before, but I just upgraded each one of them. So that we're ready to go and take on this next challenge. My favorite one seems to be the Axion. It's very convenient, but we need both a jack screw and a anchor for this mission. They need us to take those with me, and they are also very useful tools, so I'll happily go along with that. Let's see what happens. Ah, yes, the traditional leaving the garage and then being inside each other. Sure, that's fine. Let me just get into the... Actually, maybe no, I should be in the scout, because I realized that the scout is the only kind of vehicle that can have a... what's it called on the roof? A metal detector, and that seems to be an essential part in this game. It hasn't been in any of the previous games. So now there's actually a reason to bring your scout vehicle somewhere, which, I mean, has never happened before. There's never been a reason, really. Let me go and let me see if we can get it over somewhere. Now, you're starting up to... Yeah. Okay. Okay, so they do want those specific pieces of equipment, but I can still show you what I mean. This metal detector just lit up with white lights, which means that there's something in the vicinity that it wants to show me. So we can have the metal detector activate, which means that we have to stand still for a moment, and it shows us in what direction the thing is. It seems to be that there's two things, and I think the red one just refers to home base and something else. I don't know what that something else is yet. Let me just see what we get. I just want to have a quick check if I activate the thing again here, what it will show me. It looks cool how it comes out, but it takes a second. Yeah, so red does seem to be the home base, and whatever is there. Okay. Wait, how did I do that? Oh, you can press detect, and then it actually shows you exactly where it is. Oh, that's very cool. I had not seen that yet. I have played the tutorial, and sort of the first area we were in sort of seemed like the tutorial area, but the tutorial isn't perfect, and the game isn't that great at like sort of holding your hand in learning how to do anything really. It's not always equally clear what they're showing you, or they don't even show you some things. Because, for example, they told me to bring a metal detector, but they did not tell me that only scout vehicles can have that, and that you have to go to the roof of a scout vehicle to put the upgrade on that in the upgrade menu. Because it just said, bring this device. There could have been something that would go into the inventory, but no, it had to be on top of a scout vehicle. I mean, sure. I think the Mudrunner games, their biggest flaw has always been not helping out, just being very confusing and just, yeah, I don't know. They've never been very helpful with getting to know how to get started or just showing you what to do, really. It seems to be that we have an upgrade point here, that we can't get to from this side, so we would have to drive all the way around on that side, I reckon. Might be worth giving that a go before we set off on our adventure. But it definitely looks like we have to go the other way around for that. On the metal detector, it now shows a red and a green light, and if only I had remembered what those meant. Because green means that there's a green thing nearby, and green is maybe an upgrade? I don't remember. Red might be resources, but I don't remember. So, yeah, I'm sure there's a way to figure that out, honestly. There's a codex that you can look up quite a lot in. Oh, this might be a little bit too difficult terrain for me to get where I need to go, honestly, because this little car is not good at rock crawling, and I've already gotten to a place where that might be necessary. Okay, maybe if we can make it through this crack on that side, we could possibly continue, but it's not a guarantee. And it is a guarantee that you're gonna get some damage, because that is literally what this game is. You drive over rocks, you try to do it carefully, and you get damage anyway. Yeah, the game is pretty slow paced, but that is kinda part of it, part of the charm. I quite enjoy that. I mean, I can give this a go, but I have not previously been able to get very far with the rock crawling. No, that's definitely not happening, that part. This, I don't think so either, but it seems to be the only way to get to the place we need to go. Now, in previous Mudrunner games, there was always a path. Wherever you were, there was always a path that showed you where to go, and sometimes it was a horrible, muddy path. Maybe it was just bog, basically, but there was always a path. In this game, there seems to be no roads, no nothing. So it's just purely exploration, and then it is so helpful to have that drone. So I do quite appreciate the new features they have put into this game. Oof. I do, however, feel like the rock crawling in this game is still just feels a bit odd, because it sort of knocks your it knocks your car to the side. It sort of becomes very floaty whenever you're on top of rocks. And I feel like it should be the opposite of floaty when you're rock crawling, but sure, we'll see if we can get up here. Honestly, this is going better than I was expecting. Let's see. If we can continue this, that would be very, very nice. Are we gonna really get stuck on this one rock now that we've already made it so far up? There we go. Didn't even have to use the winch. I already kind of forgot that I had a winch, but that's fine. Also, this game has the worst gearbox out of any game that I've ever played, honestly, especially since it's terrible for off-roading, and that's the only thing that you ever do. If you're going slightly uphill, it will change from first gear into second gear, and then it will lose momentum because it takes a while, and then when you're in second gear, it stalls, or doesn't stall the engine, but it almost stalls, and then you have to quickly change back to first gear, and you end up going much slower than you were to begin with. But I do remember a little hack that you can always use, and that is pressing L1, which is sort of the gearbox and manual mode, but then if you just press that shortly, it will change the gear to whatever speed is appropriate, and it doesn't take ages. I'll show you in a bit how that actually works, but it seems like we've actually made it to our upgrade here. The upgrade is for these two vehicles, and I'll be honest and admit that I don't know whether we have the Dawn's FD1. What was it? It's specialized tire sets. That's very good though. Let me check. Oh, that is this car actually. It is for this car that we're driving right now. But we don't have any opportunity, I think, to actually put them on. I'm just gonna leave this car here. I mean, it's fine here. I don't think I need it right now, so I'll just go and take the one that we're supposed to be using. Which one is that? That's not the one. There you go. Alright, let's get started on the mission. Okay. Yeah, like I said, there's very few roads in this game. We seem to be on one, actually. Sort of a path, at least, that has been traveled before. These games, the previous iterations have not looked all that good. Might be worth checking out binoculars. Yeah. The previous games have not always looked that good, but the one thing about this game is that it looks just so much better. Like it's found airdrop there. That's cool. Let me see. What's that? I bet there's going to be a mission where we have to go and explore that. Or otherwise we'll do it ourselves, because I'm sure there's something there. Start scanning. Really? It's going to make us do... Okay. That feels like one of the... Okay, sure. I mean... This is one of the most pointless things I've seen so far, but it's better than what they used to have, where you just get this, like you used to be able to investigate certain places by reaching Watchtower, and then they had a little look around with the camera, and they always focused on exactly the wrong things in that camera look around. Like you could look at any of the interesting features of the terrain around you, but then the camera would just zoom around and show exactly just mud and a forest instead of the other way around where you would have had a great view. So yeah, they don't have the bar is set low by the previous games. So sure, if they want to explore in this way and give us a bit of information about the landscape around us, sure, that works. Seems to be going relatively well. Even the rock climbing from before went okay. Seems to be that the terrain is kind of doable in the vehicles that we have. Previously, that scout vehicle that we used to do the metal detector thing from, it was very pointless, especially on rocks. It got stuck immediately. But the lift kit that we put on seems to really have made a difference. Looks like a difficult climb, but if you lower your tire pressure, you'll notice the difference right away. I mean, that sounds kind of cool. Actually, for the sake of experiment, I want to try how it goes with and how it goes without. Because we can always use the diff lock, which seems to definitely be necessary. So then you put it on lower gear and turn on the diff lock. Okay, yeah, so we don't have a lot of grip in that case on the terrain around here. I'm just curious to see if that will make a big difference when you put on or change the tire pressure. Let's go all the way down, and it should increase the fuel consumption when you have lower pressure in the tires, but for a little climb like this, that's not a problem. And I mean, I'm told it should improve the grip you have. Oh yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Oh damn, oh that works really well. Oof, especially in rock climbing, the tire pressure is rock crawling. The tire pressure has to be so low in real life. So the fact that they actually take that into account, well, I might have to revise my statements from before, because I thought the rock climbing in these games has always been kind of weird. It feels weird and floaty. But with this change, it might actually be a thing now, which would be very exciting. Because I do like rock climbing games. There's not a lot out there. But BeamNG has, I mean, everything. So that includes some rock climbing from them as well. No, it's not the best decision, but we're fine. There is this other game called Pure Rock Crawling, I think. That one's also actually quite a lot of fun. Very short-lived. It's in early access and it doesn't have much to do, but it can be quite fun. But yeah, like if there's another game here that actually has some more of that, I'm up for it. That sounds very cool to me. Although the main focus on this game, I would assume, is still going to be the mud. That's just, I mean, it's in the name, so I would assume. Alright. Seems to be going quite well so far. So, what a dinosaur femur. Okay. Equipment box. They are now completely fully loaded up, so I'm not sure. Deliver the cargo. Where does it need to go? Anyway, we have to deliver it here. Deliver the cargo. And we could drive all the way back, but okay, I think I got to keep my cargo. Yeah, I got to keep my cargo. That's nice. That's very convenient. You don't have to go all the way back. Recover, you can always recover back to base, even if your car is broken or just fallen over, that kind of thing. So yeah, we're just going to use that for this mission as well. It seems to be that night is setting in. I noticed it was getting a little bit darker. I didn't actually notice that it was becoming night, though. I thought it was just getting cloudy or something, or that my screen brightness wasn't high enough. No, it's actually becoming night. That feels very cool. I wonder if you can accidentally knock out your headlights and then just have no light anymore. Might be worth might be worth repairing in that case. Okay, the equipment box is here. And we have taken or finished the mission. Back to headquarters. Sure. It seems to be that each mission is sort of a separate thing and it sends you back. But I think that if I now go back to or get into the next mission, that we will actually be or still have all of the trucks that are out there be in the same place. However, we now need a logistician. What's that gonna do for us? When he wasn't chasing girls, Connor was chasing dreams of flight. Oh my god, this game is, I think, made by Russians. Quite a lot of this is Russian. And I think this might just be their view of Americans. He served in the United States Air Force, as in the American patience and timing under pressure. Since then, Connor made a decent living moving air freight. I think it feels like such a generic thing, but sure, generic American, come and be part of our team. Do I have you now? Are you now with us? Yes, you are. Great. I guess we have to choose a car. I wonder what you get if you don't choose all of the cars. I haven't tested that out yet. Like, is that one car that we now don't choose that's just not going to be with us? Sure, start. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, only the cars that you bring with you. But last time they were still in the place that I left them last time, so I'm not entirely sure yet how it works. We would like you to visit one of the remarkable places in this region. It is remarkable not for its beauty, but on the contrary, it is crushed, rusty plain that spoils local views and may further scare off tourists. We estimate the cost of its disposal, so it needs to be carefully examined. Well, I thought it looked very cool. I feel like that is going to draw in tourists, but sure. You want to take it away? Let's take it away. I think the car, or the scout car thing, seems most appropriate for this specific task. It's just an exploration mission. It should be quite small and nimble. Let me actually get some fuel before we go. In this iteration of the games, you don't get infinite fuel. Like previous games, you just had places that gave you infinite fuel, such as the can't be transferred. Okay. I can't take any more spare parts and spare wheels. Might not be a good idea to take this one then, because it also has small inventory, but yeah, whatever. But the previous games, you've always had infinite fuel and spare parts available at every garage and gas station. But it seems to be that just the total amount of resources is limited in this one. So you actually can't keep taking damage from falling down rocks or whatever. So that's something to keep in mind, I would say. Gonna visit the viewpoint, and what is this? It's always good to see a fresh face around here. Why don't I show you around? It's easy to get lost if you're not familiar with the area, and I've been here forever. A new specialist, I see, okay. Visit different areas. Oof, okay, that's quite some way off, but it seems to be that your reward will be quite good, because it's quite a good amount of money. But how do I get back to tracking the mission that I want to track? Expedition, yes. That one, please. Yes, right. That one. Alright. In the first go at this game, I really was a bit of figuring out what on earth is going on. So I'm just glad that it's starting to make sense a little bit. To be fair, I think that this whole game has quite a bit of a not a learning curve, but more of a getting used to curve, where yeah, you just have to get used to how this game is and how unhelpful it can be sometimes. You do have to figure out some stuff on your own sometimes, but that is what it is. Okay, we can actually see the thing if you look through the binoculars. Yeah, well, I know, because I did that last time, but I don't know if it helps to do it now. That's a climb. You don't say. But it seems to be that we are pretty clear once we're down this hill. Yeah, should be fine. Alright. We are stuck on a cactus. I thought we would just be driving through that, but no. I do like how the little cactus gets destroyed here. Ooh. Keep it steady. Keep it steady. We currently are in rear-wheel drive only. Oof. Which should be fine for now, because there's no mud. But it saves you fuel, and it just seems sensible to be saving fuel. Because it used to be just that if you don't have enough fuel, then you might not get all the way to your objective. But that doesn't really matter, because you could always just bring more fuel with a different vehicle or something, which, I mean, still is the case. I can go and have the other vehicle bring some more fuel. But there also is actually a total amount of fuel on this map that you would have to pay for to get more. So, I think there is you can buy extra resources and extra fuel for 10,000 if you find the right spot to do it. For 10,000 credits, and I'd much rather spend that on upgrades, so I'm just also going to save when it comes to the total amount of fuel used if I can, and the total amount of spare parts used as well. I don't know how badly damaged any of my parts are. Yeah, only the engine is on 97%, that's not so bad. We can make it just fine with that. Where am I going? I kind of just want to be in that little ditch, I think. This should be where we are. Yes. Alright. This car could use a bit more light, honestly. Hopefully I remember to put on a light bar in the next time that we have the garage available. I'm assuming that there is an upgrade that is available as well already that has extra lights, but I don't know, because you have to unlock some of the upgrades that you need from this, so you don't know for sure. Alright. Conduct a visual inspection of the plane. Yes, seems like it's worth going up. I actually really appreciate that they're not talking to me, because sometimes in sort of lower budget video games, the voice acting just is terrible and kind of annoying. and it's already like a slow-paced game, so you can take a moment to read that little panel. I actually kind of like it. Oh, this though, I did questionable choices for like mini game to get what you want, but sure, I'll live with it. There's actually someone living there. We're gonna have to kick them out. Seems unnecessary. Alright. Why does it want us here? Explore the area, 17%. Okay. Not sure what that refers to. And what is this new objective? Wildlife. Great Outdoors is shooting a wildlife series here, but they need a skilled operator to hang cameras in known habitats. Okay. And you get a new specialist and money for that. I guess since I'm already here, I might as well do the first part to that mission and hang camera here. Is that what we need to do? Oh, that's where you pick up the cameras. Okay. And then they need to go to those two places. Okay. Oh, one of them is actually... No, wait, that's not the one. Oh, it's all the way over here. Shooting wild. Okay. Well, I should remember that I have the cameras now in this car. That will be useful if I remember that. But again, I want to continue with the mission that I was on. I realized actually that the fact that I'm using this tiny little scout to do all of this saves me a lot of fuel already. It's actually worth using this one because this one uses about like 2 liters per minute. It says in the bottom left. But that huge truck that we use, I think, is probably like 7 or 8 if you're in all-wheel drive. Or yeah, it could be much worse. I'm wondering, we need to explore this area, and it seems to be that the more we uncover on the map, the more we've done. Can't I just drive to the middle and then use the drone? Let me see if the drone works. Oof, the frame rate only went to only 40 FPS. Not sure what that's about. That's a no flight zone? That's not good. Okay. I can't say that I know what no flight zone refers to. Like, when is it a no flight zone and when is it not? We are exploring the area though, so might as well keep at it a little bit more. 67%. 70, no flight zone. Let's head back here then. Oh, this is going so well. it's just perfect. What do we do? Yeah, okay, we explored a little bit more now. It seems to be worth that if I just go around the edges that we should have most of this covered. I don't think it shows us exactly where that area is that we need to explore, so I'm gonna kind of have to guess and check the map again. Okay, we need to be a little bit further back so that we get... I hope that it stops at like 90%, 95% or something. But just in case it needs us to do 100%, we are gonna go past this little bit. Oh, that won't be a problem, right? Like this tiny little bit won't be a problem. The famous lost words. Just go try for a second. Get over here. Ooh, that's not going very well. Can I lower the tire pressure? Thank you. I like how you see it just completely deflate. That is actually very cool. I like that. Ah, we're still sliding away, but we're fine. I don't want to flip over, so I'm just going to take it carefully. That's better. That's better. Oh, actually, there's a little warning that tells you to put the pressure back up if you're on normal terrain. It's quite nice, because it would be sad to forget and then just lose fuel on driving on flat tires or low pressure tires. I'm not sure if this is a good idea going down here, because this car is quite small, so it could quite easily, like on this part for example, get flipped, and once you're flipped you need to get another car out here to unflip it, unless we brought a jack, which we don't have on this vehicle. So minor detail that I forgot just now. We might need that other vehicle at some point, but that seems to be the center of the area that we need to be in, though, so it would be very useful to be down there. Is there an easier way? I don't think there is an easier way. Is there a winch point nearby? There is not. This can only go wrong. I'm just gonna take it very easy and very carefully. I will switch to lower gear so that we go slower and have a bit more control, hopefully. And I'm gonna lower the tire pressure for a little bit more grip as well. The reason I like lower gear over automatic is that when I brake, so I use the left trigger to brake, then I actually brake, and if I hold it fully, I brake, instead of automatic where it then starts backing up if you brake too much. So that just feels a lot better when you're rock climbing like this, to have a brake rather than something that automatically becomes reverse when you don't want it to. It seems to be not as bad as I was thinking it might be, but I know how quickly things can go wrong, especially when you're in such a small car, and one rock under the wrong wheel at the wrong time can just split the entire thing, so best to be careful. That is what you learn in these games, just be careful. Why would you take risks if you're this far away from home base? Alright, we're finally at the center of the area. I just remembered that that's not the objective that we needed to get. We actually need to survey the area, so let's get up this hill. I mentioned earlier that the gearbox is really annoying in this game, and it is. But there is a simple trick, is just pressing L1 quickly, and then after that it switches to the right gear without it taking a long time and without stalling essentially. So whenever you're accelerating and the car wants to switch up a gear, it will mess you up if it does it automatically, because it then just doesn't deliver power whilst it's pushing the clutch, and etc. etc. So just quickly press L1, or I've mapped it to L1 on this. It's actually right bumper, I think, by default. Just quickly press that, and then you're just good to go in whatever gear you need to be. So press that every now and then when you're accelerating. That just helps a lot. It goes immediately from gear 1 to gear 3 if you're accelerating, and that's so much better. Even to gear 4, and now we're flying. It's ridiculous how much of a difference that makes. Alright. Seems that we have discovered the area. Thankfully we did not have to do the actual whole thing, because I think the circle is here. We hadn't done that yet, but thankfully it just let us off the hook. Wait, conduct a visual inspection of the plane. Drive up the cliff. Then we have to explore this, and now we have to go back to the traces of the wreck. Okay. An important reminder is that if you play any of the SnowRunner games and you use this trick to get a lot of speed quickly by pressing left bumper, or in this game it's the right bumper by default, a few times, then just keep in mind that this game makes you take damage the moment you hit a rock slightly too fast, or even if you do slowly, really, you can get damage. Just use it with responsible mindset. This is very important. You'll very quickly be completely broken if you do that too often and drive yourself into a rock. Oof, the game also doesn't seem to like, maybe it's this area where the frame rate is a bit lower, but it doesn't seem to like me speeding through it when it is a little bit more difficult to load, I guess. Alright. Right, I forgot that we have this tool, not the metal, echo sounder. Yeah, it can check the depth of the river in places, which is very cool. I like that. Oh, I love that I used it and immediately do something that I shouldn't have done, which I could have known if I had just paid more attention to what it told me. I didn't realize though that the little green arrow, which seemed to show that it was fine, was actually already bad enough for this car. Because this car has a very low engine intake, like air intake, because it's a Scout and it doesn't have a snorkel, which is something that I would really like to have as an upgrade. I don't know if it was already unlocked and I just lacked funds or something, but it's not on this car yet, so we have to be careful when we're around water. Maybe I actually don't get that upgrade for this one and just buy a different Scout vehicle, because I'm not necessarily very attached to this like little whatever it is. Now for fun, I activated the legacy camera, which is the one that just did not work in previous games, but at least it lets you zoom in, which is kind of cool. But it's a bit weird, like it focuses around a certain, not a certain point of the car, but the point it focuses around can be changed by just moving around, and it's not very intuitive, but I'm gonna see if it's yeah, how it goes, because I do really enjoy seeing the car and seeing all the things happen, and yeah, like the simulation of mud in this game is basically its main attraction, like the fact that it's so good and so well done. We don't seem to have diff lock on this car, so hopefully we can make it up here. But yeah, like seeing the tires and seeing the mud be deformed is just so cool, and that's the main draw of this game, honestly. So let's see if we can get up. I take it back. I think yeah, I mean, said it before, but the rock crawling in these games has never been that good. The rocks always felt very floaty, and it always felt like there was something wrong. But honestly, maybe that is just that the tires aren't that good. But now we can have more suitable tires of lower pressure like they should be, and it feels better. I say that when I'm stuck here. Let me just get up. There is also different suspension. I now have the lift kit, which is very, very helpful, especially for this. I'm starting to remember why the legacy camera isn't always the best. Are we gonna get up here? I'm wasting a lot of fuel, by the way. This vehicle doesn't use up a lot of fuel, but now it's using 4 liters per minute, which is much more than it would do if we were just driving. And it's costing us quite a few minutes as well to get up, so I feel like the damage actually that is on this car. I think this is all damaged because we hit it on things. It wasn't that like that to begin with. Okay, now we're getting almost tipping back. I think it might be better to avoid damage. Just yeah, put it on handbrake, turn off the engine, and let it be. All right, it seems like a good idea to bring this car over anyway, because it has the parts that they said this it has the parts that this task or expedition said it required. So yeah, it's good to be on this one anyway, whilst we're making our way up here. However, when I was playing this yesterday, and I did the very first mission that I have already uploaded, I honestly was questioning a little bit if this game was going to be any good, because they seem to not have changed any of the physics. It's just the same game, it felt like. with a few extra features. But I'm starting to feel it. I'm starting to sort of it might sounds dramatic, but fall in love with the game a bit again, because this is the kind of thing that I want, to have an expedition and have actual yeah, like, I mean, this specific expedition ironically just ended, and that was it. A bit disappointing, sure, that was it. But I do really like the idea of those expeditions and just going out and trying to make your way to a new place. The whole area that you're in is completely unexplored, and you're just, yeah, also gathering money and like getting upgrades and that kind of thing. I'm here for it. My feeling about this game is that it's very fun to play, but it's not the most fun to play. It's sort of it is a new Mudrunner game, and it's kind of what you would expect from it. But it doesn't fully draw me in and make me want to play the next mission very badly. But there does seem to be enough to do, and I think it will be fun to do it as well. So I will be continuing to play this game, but I might not make videos anymore unless you are interested in seeing more. So let me know, and otherwise I'll see you next time. Bye bye.